I think they're starting to become more powerful. The score isn't that different with a 3-4, but with Control having 4,000 extra gold, even with them down 2 objectives, is insane. They're clearly getting more value out of it. Now we're looking at Undead, who might be called out as Decker. Hits the stun. FaZe pulls him out. We have a 4v2 in mid. Hero's looking for the T1. Quangs and steals blue. It seems to me like they're trying to shut down that steal.
Oh, absolutely. Right now, Steel is more of the detriment. They're just not doing as well with these, invasions or group ups. That it's just not enough just yet. Shinbi is starting to walk towards this Zara's, though.
And we've seen Shinbi take his red, and now Quang took his blue. We could see a big fall behind and farm from Steel, who's now getting grouped up on in mid. Zaris is losing this fight against Shinbi. And like I said, I don't like Zaris in the mid. He drops his ult. I don't like him in the off lane as much as I like him in the jungle. I don't think he has the pull, and I think it's starting to show.
A lot of damage is getting exchanged here. Still fairly even. It could go either way, but wanting to back off.
Both men use their ult.
Mid lane fight is starting to get kind of chaotic as well. If any one of these tethers hit, it could be extremely bad for either. Looks like they are wanting to go after Shaper, though.
Now, does FaZe have what it takes to stop them?
Gadget extremely low. Barely is able to get out. Same thing with FaZe. FaZe is on death's door. Oh, gosh.
And now you gotta wonder if there's a little difference in this communication here. Steel's looking to steal the red side from Quang, getting that farm back, but he almost let up a free Shaper if the mid lane didn't stop them. Here's help with Decker, but, it's support stopping a Shaper pull.
Absolutely. I think in this case, trying to go after the Shaper might have been a little bit better. If they had just one more player in that fight, it could have been a cleanup.
And now here's what I mentioned earlier. They are going for that mini prime, and it looks like they're going to get it for free. I think they're going to give it to Shinbi again. I think with the way this game is going, Shinbi could probably take an inhibitor if Zaris doesn't just guard his lane. And they give it to Cotton. Now we can see some aggression from the duo lane here. Zar's still getting pushed back by Shinbi. We're starting to see a little bit of that character dip here, especially after the farm Shinbi got. We do have Dolenside looking at Shaper, disengaging from it, maybe trying to set up a pull here, but with Cottonmouth having that Lord Prime, I think dual lane is going to make an aggro push.
Absolutely. It looks like mid lane is just taking a little bit of poke and prod here. Quang is possibly looking towards catching it out this phase. Is able to get back, though. So, right now, mid lane, fairly pushed out. Not completely sure what they are wanting to try to do here. Possibly trying to look towards dual lane to get some pretty strong shutdowns before they go into the Fangtooth.
And Gadget's doing a good job of hitting that hat on the Decker, backing her up. We do have Death Awaits a little discombobulated here. Their group up's not as good, and I think Control All can probably get this Fangtooth to stop them from getting their third. Pop Hero's
still
going in. We have Zoro's ult.
Big ult coming through. Big stuns coming through. Unfortunately, their jungler just doesn't look like they're going to survive. So extremely low. Does find the Aurora. Unfortunately, the jungler goes down.
Control secures a Fangtooth. 2-1 on Fangtooth here. We're looking at the team fight. They do secure a kill, but it looks like Popo's going to go out, and he does. Do they make an aggro case for Jin here?
I just don't think that fight, the position was just a bit off.
I think Death Awaits could have grouped up to a little better there. I mean, they did get majority of the kills, kind of minimizing the value of that Fangtooth. They did officially kill all 5 in that fight after that Shinbi secure.
Getting a very strong team wipe. I think in that case, it came out better for sure for the Dawn side. They were starting to get really far behind in terms of gold, and getting a lot of those shutdowns will hopefully get them back to this game.
And it does. Now their gold is about even here. There was a 4,000 gap. Now that gap has been closed down to about 700 gold. I mean, they're making great plays here. That Fangtooth wasn't too much value, and now they're looking for Shaper.
Shaper's going to be really important right here. Being able to push back some of those lanes, especially in that right-hand lane where they could possibly get another tower down. But starting to engage more and more here. Dawnside is disengaging from the Shaper itself and starting to get more kills on
And down goes
characters.
Skylar. We could see the Dawnside make an aggressive play towards the Shaper here. They are taking a lot of damage, and Aurora drops her ult on Steel. I could potentially see a Steel kill.
Aurora's starting to get really low here. Steel is also looking extremely low, barely being able to pull out.
Here, potential double kill here. She gets the
Finds
climb.
a great team fight here for the Dawn side, pretty much taking out the entirety of the team. Shinbi is starting to come in, gets a stun hit, and a wall as well. They could look for another team wipe here.
And now you gotta think.
On Shinbi, there it is.
You gotta think, maybe they got excited. Obviously, Death Awaits was winning the exchanges in the last game early. And Control couldn't really handle it until late game. I wonder if, since they were up 3-0 in kills, they thought they figured out the recipe to beat this team, and now it's backfiring on them, going from 0-3 to 13-7. The Shaper is dropping those rocks right now.
Absolutely. It was a great engage from the Dawn side to go ahead and clean up a lot of that fight there. Especially now that they have the Shaper with it, able to get some really good lane pressure in each and every one of the lanes.
See Gadget kind of struggling even with her tower to take out one of those seedlings pushing her lane. Pop Hero is obviously not there to maximize the value, but you could see just how powerful those seedlings are with how long it took them to take it. With a tower and a mid laner shooting it, it still took about 10 seconds.
Absolutely. Going back a little bit, just doing some poking and prodding, trying to set lanes. Pop Hero wanted to get aggressive here a little bit. Doesn't realize that Popo is there. Backing off really quickly.
Now still he's grouped up here. He secures the kill.
Fantastic kill right there on the Gadget.
Quang looking for a kill here. FaZe did ult, and there wasn't much value in it. We're looking at Skylar behind the FaZe right now.
Very, very low Popo is. Hitting tethers, but not able to do any more damage there. Possibly catching out the Skylar. Big wall coming through.
It seemed like Kira really wanted that that kill on Quang there, but just couldn't secure it. And now we have Zara's ulting the Skylar.
Unfortunately, not able to get the actual catch out on the Skylar. Able to get over the wall just in time. Good, so deep is the seal going just to get that kill. Now, do they turn around? Which they should. They absolutely should. Finds the kill on Aurora.
It just looks like Death Awaits is really starting to snowball here. The fans in the chat must be rallying around their team favorite right now. Obviously, they're down 0-1, but right now, this looks like a potential to tie the series. We did see this last game, though, where they had a large lead and started making some mistakes. Hopefully, they can correct that going into this game.
Absolutely doing a really, really good job right now here in the middle of the game to try to come back from the bit of a deficit that they had previously. Good team fights and good communications that they got to be having right now. Definitely would have been a mental boom to come into this game, and then the same thing would have happened.
And now we do see that gold difference starting to shift into their favor. They were down 4,000 gold. Now they're up 5,000. They're up about 30 CS. It's looking good. Kira specifically is up about 20 CS on the Skylar right now. We could see that kill power from Kira really start to come into play, especially since she's seemingly been willing to drop that ult on anyone she sees, and they secure another kill on the Gadget.
Communications between the teams are doing a fantastic job here, able to turn very quickly from the Primal Fangtooth onto a member of the Dusk side that got caught out.
And now this is what Shimby's been good at so far. She's been adding lane pressure to try to deter them a little. Unfortunately, Death Awaits doesn't seem to acknowledge it as much. We'll find out late game who that's going to be detrimental for. But this Primal Fangtooth just went to the team Death Awaits. And that's their third as well. So now they get that permanent buff, giving up these objectives. Maybe Shimby needs to start looking to group up a little more. Looking to take mid lane T2. I don't think she does here. Taking some tower shots.
I'm not quite liking the group up right now from the Dusk side. It's just looking really disjointed. It's not helping them out in the slightest. If they had a full 5 stack right there, they might have been able to take away the Primal Fangtooth and possibly go into this Orb Prime with their team. But It's Dawn side trying to take the prime right now.
And now-
Gadget is starting to walk through with the Shimby. Can they look for a steal?
Crying out, I would say they could not, and they do not. It was a little close there with that Gadget. If maybe she dropped her ult and somehow stopped the steal, they could have, but they're looking for a 3-objective sweep here with the Shaper.
Absolutely. Once they have this, they're going to be looking to get really, really aggressive here. Takes the Shaper. Possibly
think
just
it's
doing
safe to
some
say
resets.
Death Awaits is gaming this game. Maybe this is what threw us off here. They just had to get their team comp on, and now these oddball picks are starting to work out for them.
Absolutely. Bringing back the little bit of mental boom that they had in the first game. They're doing a fantastic job of just rallying the troops and getting back into this.
Now, the one thing they are down in right now is kind of the lane pressure. I mean, Shimby is backdooring a lot. It's keeping Zorus out of some of the fights. He doesn't seem to be acknowledging it as much. He did secure the T2. The inhibitors are at the same health now. Maybe that Shimby backdooring starting to cost him a little bit.
Looking to put pressure back onto each one of these lanes. Right lane is just looking like it's about reset. It might even be looking for a catch out here. Popular is a bit forward as they come in. Big wall to go ahead and separate one of these heroes out, but just not enough to really catch anybody.
Now, they do get a T2 on left side here. Decker is getting aggressive on that Skylar. I think Decker has the getaway here to probably put some damage on that inhibitor as her team groups up in the mid to take this T2.
Marky Duda getting extremely aggressive with the Zarus. Catches another one out. Fantastic job just pushing forward to get these kills.
And with 3 down, double buffs, and lane pressure, I think we could see game over here. We might be going to a third game.
Shimby finds the dash to avoid the steal jump down to get the stun off. Wanted to get aggressive once again.
Marky is a
And
little
two
low
inhibitors
here.
fall.
They have double lane pressure. Marky's low. We got to wonder, is he going to dive? He's going to wait for FaZe to heal him a little bit. What's going to happen here? They have an opportunity to end the game with Aurora having 12 seconds on a timer and Gadget having 17.
And the damage is absolutely coming through. I don't think this core stands much of a chance. And with that, we go to a third game.
And Pop Hero, 7-0-10. That FaZe is definitely MVP once again.
Fantastic job so far. 63,000 gold to that 53,000. They ended over almost 10,000, a little bit more than 10,000 gold over that. They did a great job of coming back in from the mid game where they were behind.
I think the most interesting thing here is that a lot of this team was up in CS. And it seemed to really do their job. I mean, that Zarus went 8-0 too. Even with Shimby pushing his lane up, he was the one down in CS on their team. That really, I was thinking it would cost them. But 8-0-7 proved me wrong. That Shimby maybe doesn't want to backdoor next time. Maybe group with the team. It seemed like Death Awaits has great group up interactions, good comms, and control. Maybe seemed a little lost and overzealous that game.
Gotta agree with you. I want to see them come back like they did in the first game. They did such a good job at grouping. In this game, they were just not looking the same. But we will be back here in just a minute to see you in the third game. We'll see you soon.